Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use Track and Field Meet Manager Lite in order to add new teams, make new rosters, and then send in entries for any track and field event. So the first thing you have to do, and you're going to have this loaded on your computer, you're going to go to TFTM Lite or Track and Field Team Manager Lite. Just double click on that. Again, you are going to want it in English. And I'm going to show you how to do a couple things here. The first thing you're going to do is look at the top here with our different settings. The main ones we're going to look at up here, we're going to look at our setup, our athletes, our teams, and our meets. Those will be the big things we're going to look at. So first under setup, we'll go ahead and click on that. And again, you're going to go ahead and go to preferences, system preferences. And again, if we look here, we want to make sure that we type in what teams we're going. So I have boys and girls teams here. We want to show the ages of our athletes and the school year that they are in. We also want to go to our team default. So it says when this is imported into another entry file that, for example, I'm from Kentucky and Walton Verona High School. Again, besides this, everything else will be standard. You don't have to touch anything else. Next, under setup, and this is probably the most important one, we're going to go to groups, subgroups, and codes. Again, for some reason, when you enter grade levels and things like that, it's going to have, if you look here, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, will show up in your description. But the codes, when you originally do it, are going to show up as for freshman, FR, and for sophomore, SO, and we don't want that to happen. So again, the way to change that is you would just double-click on the grade you wanted to change, so double-click on freshman. And all you're going to do for the code, originally it would say something like this, FR. All you're going to do is you're going to switch that to 09, so you're going to do the year they are in school. And you're going to do that the same for 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders. Pretty simple stuff. Next, we want to go ahead and create a team. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create a team. So you'll click on the team menu, and you'll go to add, and it's going to prompt you to come up with a couple teams, okay, and team names. So again, your team code will be the abbreviation of your high school. So let's say that I was going to do one for Walton Verona Middle School, so my team code would be WVMS. My team name would be Walton Verona Middle School. My short name I'm going to keep it the same, WVMS, and same with alternative abbreviation, WVMS. Now, if you want to, you can put in the mailing information about your school and telephone numbers and things like that, but that's not really that important. So we're going to click OK there. Next, we're going to go to and you'll notice here on my menu here now we have a Walton Verona Middle School, WVMS. Next, we're going to go to Coaches, and again, we're going to click on Walton Verona Middle School. And if you want to, you can go ahead and add yourself in there, so it's easy to contact. So for me, if I were to add in my info again, Phil Amstutz, I'm the head coach. I can put my phone number, email, cell phone, etc., etc. And again, it'll show if you're only the men's coach, women's coach, you can change that here. Okay, the next thing I want to do, and again, this little manila folder here will get you out or back to the next screen. Next thing I do is add a couple athletes. So again, we are right now on Walton Verona Middle School, so we're going to go ahead and head back to the main page, and we're going to go to athletes. And what we want to do is we want to add athletes. So we're going to click on the add button. And we're going to add them to Walton Verona Middle School. So I'll come up with a fake name here. We'll say Smith Josh. And Josh Smith we'll say is a male. And the team we want him on Walton Verona Middle School. And the year he is in, we'll say that he is a sophomore, 10th grade. So we'll click OK. Go ahead, and you're going to go ahead and add your entire roster in this way. So let's come up with another girl. Let's say Foster Sarah Foster. And let's say Sarah Foster, again, is female. And let's say she is, school year, she's I don't know, freshman, and click OK. So again, you're going to go through and add in all your athletes that way. It's very, very simple. When we look here, now this is my actual team pulled up here. When we look here, we're going to go back. And we're going to go to teams, and we're going to view Walton Verona Middle School, the team we created. Then we go to the athletes. We're going to see our athletes have been created. So we have Sarah Foster, Josh Smith, etc., etc., etc. So again, we can get all these athletes added in, so it's very, very simple. Now, two things that might happen during a track and field entry. You might be asked for the team roster or for the entries. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to export a team roster to finish up here. So if you needed to export a team roster and it has all the kids in your school plus their gender and their year and things like that in order to get competitor numbers, all you're going to do here is you're going to go to File, you're going to go to Export, and you want to export your athletes and your teams. Okay, so you click Athletes Teams. Again, it'll set up an automatic database on your computer under your C drive there. Mine is TFTM3 data. And I want to export Team Walton Verona Middle School. I want to export both males and females. I want to export my information. Go ahead and click OK. It's going to export your roster to you, and again, it'll show you how many athletes you had. So if you have 35 kids on your team and it says it only exports 3 or 4, then you know you did something wrong. So again, it's going to be a zip file here, so when you send information to whoever's in charge of the meet, you'll just send them the zip file, and they'll open it up, and they'll have your roster. So that's pretty simple stuff. One other thing I will show, just to finish up, is if you were at a specific meet, how to import the meet events to your meet manager, where you can add in people's names and things like that. So let me go ahead. I've already pulled up a web page here, and this is where you're going to find everything, ktccca.org. This will have zip files for all the meets. So I'll go ahead and go in 2011 here. And it's going to open up the entire schedule for Kentucky for 2011. And I'm going to scroll down to an invite that we're going to have here very short. I'm going to go to April 9th. And Walton Verona All-A meet. And again, it has the zip file right here online. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click it. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, so desktop. Light the Night is what it's called. So I'm going to go ahead and save that there. We'll close that. We can exit out of here. Now back in Team Manager, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import the meet into my Team Manager. So I'll go to File, go to Import, and I want to import the meet events, so the different events at this particular meet. So I'll go to Meet Events. Now I have to find out where they are on my computer. Well, I saved them on my desktop, so I'll go to Desktop here, try to hunt down, there it is, Track and Field Meet Manager, Meet Events, Light the Night. So I'll click on that, go ahead and hit Open, go ahead and hit Open. Just need to click on the link here, open that up, and it's going to prompt you to import events, hit OK. And you'll notice here it says 34 events imported, which is the normal number of events. So again, if you see a number like 34 or 36, you probably did it correctly. Again, most of the times, some meets don't have pole vault, so there's only 34 events, not 36, but there are events that are imported. We'll hit OK. Now to go ahead and add our team into those events, if we wanted to do that, very, very simple. Again, we'll go to Teams and double check, make sure we're on Walton Verona Middle School. Okay, so we're on Walton Verona Middle School's team. Get out of there. We'll go to Meets, and you'll notice here, I have a bunch of meets I've done before, but we'll go to Light the Night because that's the one we just imported. So we're going to Light the Night Entries. Click on Entries. We'll go Entries by Event. Go ahead and click OK. And what it's going to do here, it's going to prompt you on the top. It's going to show you all the events that are going to take place in this specific track meet. Again, we want to make sure that we're on Team Walton Verona Middle School, and we want to filter it by Walton Verona Middle School. Okay. And what it's done here already, if you notice, the very first event is a female event. Well, it's automatically pulled up my only female that's on the team. It'll pull up all your other kids here, though. So what you would do here is if you wanted to add a relay team in for this specific event, you would simply hit New Relay, and you'd pull and drag your athletes in here. Now, you only have one athlete in this scenario, so again, we would drag the other 4 in. And then if you have a time you want to enter in so they get good seating, you go to Custom here and just type in the time. So let's say that these girls were in 11:30. Go ahead and hit Enter. Now, sometimes on your relays, this EX might pop up, and that stands for Exhibition. You always want to unclick this, or else your team will show up as not being able to score in a track meet. So what you'll do, you can go through different events. I'm going to go here, too, I'll go to the 100 hurdles for boys. And again, I only have one athlete available, but let's go ahead and enter Josh Smith into this. And again, I'll give him a custom time so he gets a good seed, so we'll give him a 14:58, let's say, is his time. So again, you'll go through and you'll click on the 2 people you want to run the event, and then their custom times. Very simple. When you're done here, when you're done with all your events, you're going to go ahead and export them, and you're going to ship that off to whoever the meet manager is. So if you wanted to, you got all your events figured out, you got all your people in there, you're going to exit this area. You're going to exit back to the main screen. You go to File, and you'll export your meet entries. Okay, so the entries you made for meets, go to Export Meet Entries. We got here Light the Night. We've already got the correct meet, so click OK there. And there we go. Entries exported to TFTM3 WVMS entries 1.zip. So again, if you were going to send an email then to the meet manager, you just hunt that file down and attach it. You'd also attach with it that roster that we created.